Hi everyone. So welcome to CSAT 2026 for English practice questions. My name is Abhilasha and I'll be taking you through this. Now, if you have already joined us, then maybe you could quickly like the session, share it with your friends and family so that they can also join. And also, I hope you have subscribed to the session so that you can participate in the chat box. I hope I am audible and visible, right? Let's do this. We have a number of questions for CSAT 2026. These are all related to English. So here's the first passage, and then there will be subsequently a couple of questions based on that. So the first passage, here we are. The gig economy, characterized by short-term contracts and freelance work, has grown exponentially in recent years. So it's the gig economy. You get short-term gigs. Digital platforms allow individuals to offer services ranging from cab driving to graphic design. Advocates argue that this system provides flexibility, autonomy, and new income streams for workers who may not thrive in traditional employment. And yet, remember, wherever there is there is a twist in the tale. Critics point to the absence of job security, healthcare benefits, and retirement savings, calling gig work a precarious livelihood. Precarious means dangerous. Policymakers face a dilemma. Dilemma means there is a problem in decision making. Should gig workers be treated as independent contractors enjoying freedom but limited rights, or as employees entitled to full labor protection? The debate reflects a larger tension between innovation in employment models and the preservation of workers' welfare. Now, which of the following is the central theme of the passage? Is it decline of traditional jobs? Is it technological unemployment? Is it rise in dilemmas of the gig economy or trade union? Well, the passage is not about trade unions. It was not about decline of traditional jobs or nor about technological employment. So the correct answer could only be rise in dilemmas of the gig economy. The second question, what is implied by the phrase precarious livelihood in the context of gig work? Now, precarious is dangerous and livelihood, of course, is work. So, essentially, this is some sort of employment that is very risky and uncertain, and therefore not well paying but temporary jobs, not occupations that are seasonal. There's nothing dangerous about it. Seasonal jobs will come around the next season. Jobs requiring specialized technical skills, no. So, employment with uncertainty and insecurity will be the correct answer. Let's look at the second. Oh, this passage has three questions. Which of the following assumption underlies the critic's viewpoint? The critic's viewpoint is that there is absence of job security, healthcare benefits, and retirement savings. Okay, they call gig work a precarious livelihood. So why do they find this problematic? What is the problem in all of this? That is the question that we are asking, right? So let's ask that question. Let's take a minute and ask. So, flexibility is less important than security in employment. So do people want flexibility or do they want security? All gig workers eventually shift to regular jobs. Employers want to provide full benefits to gig workers, or gig economy reduces overall unemployment. And the problem in them saying that gig economy is not very good, it's a precarious livelihood, is because people do not really want that flexibility. So therefore, A would be the best answer here. Okay, here's the second passage. So for centuries, indigenous communities around the world relied on traditional knowledge systems to manage natural resources. So they were doing it traditionally. Practices such as rotational farming, herbal medicine, water harvesting were rooted in ecological wisdom and cultural continuity. However, so now there's a twist in the tale. Colonialism and modernization often sidelined these methods in favor of Western scientific approaches. Recently, climate change and biodiversity loss have prompted renewed interest in indigenous practices. So you're bringing it back. Government and researchers now recognize their potential for sustainable living. Still, concerns about intellectual property rights and the risk of commodifying sacred traditions raise difficult ethical questions. So you have tough questions to answer. The challenge lies in integrating ancient wisdom with modern science without erasing cultural identity. So you don't want to erase your cultural identity. You want to integrate the original ancient wisdom with modern science. Now, the author suggests that indigenous knowledge was sidelined mainly because it lacked ecological value, Western approaches were imposed and privileged, it failed to provide sustainable solutions, or indigenous communities abandoned them willingly. Well, they did not abandon them willingly. See, it has very clearly said colonialism and modernization often sidelined it. So it failed to provide sustainable solutions. No. The Western approaches were imposed and privileged. It lacked ecological values. No. So the best answer here will be B. The word commodifying in the passage most nearly means what? So when you're commodifying something, you're making it a product and you're selling it or exploiting it for profit. So therefore, the best answer would be A. Preserving in cultural memory, no. Documenting for scientific records, no. It's not scientific records, then it is again not commodified. Valuing as sacred and untouchable, no. So the best answer here will be selling or exploiting for profit. Which of the following is an assumption in the passage? Modern science is always superior to traditional wisdom, but always is an extreme word, so probably not. Indigenous practices can contribute meaningfully to sustainability. Yes, probably yes. Sacred traditions cannot be integrated, but we are integrating, no? And also, are we really talking of sacred traditions or just indigenous practices? Climate change has no link, but the author is talking about there being a link. So the best answer here will be option number B, which says indigenous practices can contribute meaningfully to sustainability. Okay, let's look at the third passage here. AI has begun to revolutionize healthcare from predictive diagnostics to robotic surgeries. By analyzing vast amount of patient data, AI system can detect patterns invisible to the human eye, potentially identifying diseases at earlier stage. So they can identify that also. This promises to reduce cost and improve efficiency in overburdened health systems. And yet, challenges remain. Algorithmic biases may replicate inequalities, while reliance on machines could undermine the human element of care. Data privacy is another pressing concern. That's also a problem. As sensitive health records become valuable commodities, whether AI will emerge as a tool to democratize healthcare or deepen existing divides depends on how responsibly it is implemented. So it actually will depend on how you are using it, right? The central concern expressed in this passage is that AI may reduce employment in hospitals. Were we really worried about that? No. AI could replicate inequalities if not responsibly managed. Yes, this was something that we spoke about. AI will completely replace doctors? No. Data storage costs in healthcare are rising? No, that was not a concern. So the best answer was the ethical issue surrounding AI, managing our data, holding our data, using our data, commodifying our data, and so on. The phrase valuable commodities in relation to health records implies. What is this valuable commodity? Similar, see, it was here. Sensitive health records become valuable commodities. What do I mean by valuable commodity? They're easily replaceable? No. They lack security risks? No, they have it. They can be freely accessed by the public? No, they have high economic and strategic value. Yes, they do. That is why they are valuable commodities. Excuse me. Alright, here's the fourth passage. Although 70% of Earth is covered in water, less than 1% is readily available for human use. Population growth, industrialization, climate change have intensified global water stress. Regions such as Middle East and parts of South Asia face acute scarcity, often leading to political tensions between neighboring states. Attempts to address the crisis include desalination, wastewater recycling, and efficient irrigation methods. However, these technological solutions can be energy intensive and costly. Critics argue that unless consumption patterns are changed and water governance improved, technological fixes alone will not be sufficient. Water, once taken for granted, is rapidly becoming a defining resource of the 21st century. What is the main reason water scarcity has become a global crisis? Okay, that water covers only a small percentage of Earth. But are we talking of water covering something? Decline in desalination technologies? No. Increasing demand coupled with management? Yes. Lack of rainfall? No. So the biggest problem was increasing demand coupled with mismanagement. All right, I think we have somehow repeated this question. So, well, let's not do this question. We've already done this. All right, so that brings us to the end of this session, guys. We've done 9 questions today. I hope this was a helpful session. I will see you next week, same time, same place. Remember, Tuesdays, 5:30 p.m. I am with you every time. If you have any questions to ask, please drop it in the chat box. Okay, questions or comments in the chat box. Okay, I'll see you then. Thank you so much, everybody. Remember to hit like, share, and subscribe. For any inquiries, you can connect with us on this question 8130. Let me mark it here 8130 038 836. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye bye.